Hi, good afternoon, Michael Flynn. Thanks very much for being here. I want to share something about empathy. If you look, I think it'll appear on IG directly below this particular video. There's a story there, or the little quote about sympathy for other people. To be honest, the quote is kind of wrong. The right word is empathy. And I'm here to tell you that if there's one thing that will put your marriage, your relationships, and your business and your financial position in a good place, it's your capacity to develop empathy for other human beings. Every single person likes to be listened to. Every single person needs to be heard. It's a human need, and when we don't feel we're being listened to or we don't feel we're being heard, we get resentful, we get bitter. And I'm going to share a story with you about just how lacking in empathy I was at earlier stages of my life and what I did about that. I was always listening to people, but I wasn't really listening. I was listening to what I was going to say next. So they'd be talking and I'm thinking, yeah. And I've got news for you. I was in a very large global company, and some HR professionals were pulled into the company to do a survey. And to cut a long story short, it turned out that people didn't like me very much. They really didn't like me at all. I was in a very senior position in the organisation. I was on the board of directors of actually of a 20,000 people, 20 country global business. And I was stationed in Australia, and people didn't like me. And the main reason they didn't like me is because I wasn't listening to them. I didn't get connected to them. So once I got this feedback, and I have to tell you it really hurt, I started to force myself to listen. And what I did was I gave myself a 30-day challenge, and this can transform your life. And when people were speaking, I would force myself to repeat what they were saying in my head as they were saying it. And I'm here to tell you that it was very, very difficult to do at the start, and then pretty soon after, in about 15 days, I really started to feel connected to people, and I've got to tell you, I could see that people started to feel connected to me. And within 30 days, my relationships totally transformed. And if you try that, it's a 30-day challenge, and I've got to tell you, it's pretty hard to do. Slow down and start to make connection with people, and I'll tell you, they can actually feel it. If your relationship is in trouble, the probability is that you've stopped listening to each other, and specifically, you've started to go to war intellectually, but you've stopped listening to people's emotions. And I've got to tell you, sometimes it's excruciating. When she starts going on, and it's like, oh my God, and it's not even true, and it's like, but you know what? Men, I'm telling you, just shut up. Listen. Let her finish, and then calmly talk back to her. And if she feels hurt, say, you know what, I really feel you, and I can imagine that really hurts, but allow me to say something about that. That's not actually what happened. And do you know what? The minute a couple, and it goes the other way too, men like to be listened to, it's just exactly the same for all human beings. And as soon as we start to connect with each other by listening to people and showing empathy, wow, how did that make you feel? And once you can connect with people, and that includes the office and money, I got news for you. When you can display and demonstrate and get connected with people through empathy, here's a question: where does money come from? And the answer is, money comes from people. And your capacity to build connection with people is what will cause fantastic opportunities in your life to blossom. And people love to be around people who they feel connected with. And guess what? Money flows from that. Here's how bad I was. Oh man, no respect for other people's thinking and ideas. Worst thing I can ever remember myself doing. A creative director came to see me. And he said, I've had this great idea. And he went on to explain. Have a guess what I said to him? It's just awful. I said, is that your idea? Yeah. What's creative about that? Oh. Is there any wonder why the guy hated me from that day onwards? Is there any wonder why the guy undermined me in business? Is there any wonder? When we make powerful connections with people, people will stick by us. We allow them to make mistakes. If we really care about someone because we know that they care about us, we will let them make a mistake. We'll even let them mess up, and we don't mind. But when there's somebody who can say something like, what's creative about that, and put you down, let's face it, we feel resentful. We don't feel any empathy with that person, and we don't care what happens to them. They got fired? Good. We're all like that. Empathy and connection with people ought to be taught in families, ought to be taught in school. Learn to listen to each other, learn to connect with each other. And I've got to tell you, that means that you can network and connect with really powerful people who can open doors for you all over the world. It will be the quality of your connection to people that will set you up in life for success. More than anything, develop patience and empathy with other human beings. Learn to listen. Sometimes it's excruciating, but learning to listen and feel what other people, not combating and competing with their minds. No, it wasn't a Tuesday, it was Wednesday. Who cares what bloody day it was? What matters is they feel hurt right now, and that's not good. I'm sorry you feel hurt. You can also be joyous with each other too. Connect with people's emotions, and you will rocket to the top in business. And I've got to tell you, connecting with people's emotions will make you very wealthy and very successful, because it's an emotional world. See ya and have a great weekend. Bye.